News now. I'm Constance Jones. We've got some breaking news to get to this morning. Police just confirming a shooting investigation currently underway in downtown Miami. NBC6's Julia Bagg joins us now with more details. Julia.
Yeah, good morning to you, Constance. Firefighters now telling us they did indeed take one woman to the hospital who had been shot this morning. Let me show you the investigation happening here under the rain on Northwest 1st Avenue between 6th and 8th Streets, right in the heart of downtown Miami, right next to the Bright Line. You see these flashing lights. Take a look at the video. You can see what it's been like here this morning. An ambulance rushing to the scene. We have reports that a second person was shot, and I want to show you where police have been focusing their investigation. It appears to be a homeless encampment near railroad tracks here in downtown Miami, off of 8th Street, again, Northwest 1st Avenue. We do know, again, one person, a woman taken to the hospital who was shot. We were there this morning when she arrived at Ryder Trauma Center when paramedics wheeled her in. It was unclear whether she was conscious at that time. But I want to bring you back out here live because although police have not confirmed this, we have reports that another person was shot who may have died. And you can see through the brush in this area a purple tent. That is the center of the investigation at this point. There's more crime scene tape, and we can see detectives there looking for evidence at this point. So we're going to see what else we can find out for you this morning as we follow what police are up to. Again, we know at least one person was shot. That's the word from firefighters, but perhaps another person has been shot and killed. We're working to see if that is indeed the case. Live this morning in downtown Miami, Julia Bagg, NBC6 News.
All right, Julia, thank you for that update. This morning, 2 men are now facing charges in connection to the death of a teen. Police say that the teenager was hit and killed by a boat in Biscayne Bay last year. NBC6's Brianna Nesbral is live for us with more details on this case.
Well, yeah, we spoke with the family through their attorney. They described this last year as unimaginable. They're right now fighting for change while pushing for stronger boating laws to prevent future tragedies.
Less than a year after the tragic death of 15-year-old Ella Adler, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is charging 2 men for her death. One of those men is Carlos Guillermo Alonso, seen here on his boat. FWC says he was driving that boat when he hit the teen who was wakeboarding and fell in the water near the Nixon Beach sandbar. Edmund Hartley is also being charged. FWC says he was driving the boat towing Adler. The community soon rallied around Adler's family.
Their lives are forever changed.
The teen's family put out a statement Tuesday following FWC's announcement. Part of it says, "Their efforts have brought a measure of accountability and clarity during the most painful time in our lives. Our family remains focused on healing and on honoring Ella's legacy by amplifying the joy, light, and love she brought into the world." Alonso's attorney says while last year was a tragedy, the death was not Alonso's fault, and they were surprised to learn about the citations. She wrote, "FWC explicitly told us that they did not find Bill's actions caused the accident. We understand that FWC is under a lot of pressure from recent events, but now, after telling us that Bill was not to blame, we will need to get to the bottom of this charging decision a year later."
Now, both men have pleaded not guilty. As for Adler's family, they're now urging the governor to sign Lucy's law aimed at enhancing voter safety. Live this morning, I'm Brianna Nesbral, NBC6 News.
We have kids on board, please. We have 2 kids on board.
Yeah, this morning we're hearing those frantic 911 calls after a boat explosion in Fort Lauderdale on Memorial Day. One person died 3 days ago and 10 other people, they were hurt, including 2 children. Officials say it was fuel vapors that caused that flash fire. Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission says they're still investigating all of this. All right, now to a stinky situation. It has a South Florida family asking for help this morning. They're calling the conditions unsafe and unlivable at their Cutler Bay apartment complex.
Look at this. Come on. How am I supposed to take a shower?
Yeah, Antonio Martinez says this is sewage backing up into a shower floor there at the villas of Cutler Bay. Neighbors say the building needs more than $900,000 in repairs before it can even pass its 40-year inspection. Now, Martinez tells us his landlord keeps sending over plumbers who do the very best they can, but the sewage isn't the only problem.
Look at this. If you can see, the this is actually falling. So they did these in every part. So like a little rinky-dinky job just to hold it stiff, but this is a hazard. Like nobody should live like this.
Yeah, we've reached out to the property management company for the villas at Cutler Bay, and we are still waiting for a response. Well, Cuban-American actor William Levy is expected back in court today. This is all tied to the charges that Levy, whose real name is William Gutierrez, is facing after deputies say they found the actor intoxicated at a Weston restaurant back in April. Deputies say they told the actor to leave a number of times, but he ignored their commands, and he was eventually arrested. He's now facing several charges, including disorderly conduct. Right now to a live look at Capitol Hill as tariffs on steel and aluminum, they are set to be in effect this morning. President Donald Trump is hiking the rate on foreign metals to 50%. This will affect products including cars, furniture, tools, and canned goods. As the trade war continues gaining pushback from both sides of the aisle, President Trump remains in high spirits, posting on Truth Social that because of tariffs, our economy is now booming. Meantime, a Texas man has been arrested and accused of trespassing on President's Mar-a-Lago estate overnight on Tuesday. Secret Service says they detained 23-year-old Anthony Reyes after he allegedly scaled a perimeter fence at the Mar-a-Lago estate. Now, Reyes told the Palm Beach Police Department that he wanted to, quote, marry Kai. Kai Trump is the president's 18-year-old niece and the daughter of Donald Trump Jr. Reyes was booked into the Palm Beach County Jail with a bond set at $50,000. All right, you guys, just 4 wins left for the Florida Panthers in the best-of-7 series. The winner of Game 1 will go on to win a little over 70% of the time here. The puck drops for this game at 8 p.m. tonight. And watch out for the Stanley Cup coverage that we have here on NBC6. Sarah Cardona, she's going to be live for us in Edmonton for Game 1 tonight. And our own Giselle Espinala, she's going to be at the watch parties ready to cheer on the Cats. You can watch the parties across South Florida tonight. You can head on over to Baptist Health Iceplex, where you can skate and also watch the game starting at 6:45 tonight. You can also head over to the Amerant Bank Arena. The doors open at 7 p.m. and tickets are available for both. And if you're cheering on the Cats tonight, we want to see you. Share your Panther pride with us. All you have to do is send us a picture sporting your Panther gear. Share it with us and let us know why you're a fan. And we might feature you on air or on our digital platform. Send it to IC@NBC6.com. Thank you for watching NBC6 News Now. We'll be right back with your first alert forecast.
First Alert Weather on NBC6, South Florida's most accurate. Here's meteorologist Adam Berg.
Hi, South Florida. So we've seen a couple of days of heavy rain now, and different areas targeted over the last couple of days. Some areas got it both days here. So let's kind of back up and talk about Monday's heavy rain. Kendall Lakes, these are some Doppler estimates showing 4 or 5 inches plus, and then 3 to 4 inches or so and above around Cutler Bay, Pinecrest area, and then maybe just a touch less south of Cutler Bay. Miami and Miami International Airport got in on the act yesterday as well. 3 to 4 inches and more, and 2 to 3 inches plus all the way over towards South Beach. 3 to 4 inches and above around North Miami and points north. And then another bullseye here across Broward County, Oakland Park area, 2 to 3 inches plus here. That's what all the red is. And then we're talking 3 to 4 inches plus here around Deerfield Beach. You get into the red and orange, you start getting into that 4-inch range or so. But, you know, look, not everybody got hammered. Parkland here about 1 inch or so. That's what the light blue is. Coral Springs, same deal. Purple, about 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. Now we look at the 24-hour rainfall. So this takes care of most of Tuesday. So basically from Tuesday morning to Wednesday morning here, we saw humongous amounts of rain across parts of Miami-Dade again. But this time, the worst of it a little farther south. 6 inches plus here across the Upper Keys. That's what the yellow is all about here. And then 3 to 4 inches of rain and above around Homestead. And then big rains as well for Pinecrest, Coral Gables, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 plus, that sort of thing. And even a couple inches again around Miami. That's what the red is all about. So many areas impacted a couple days in a row here. North Miami, a little less yesterday versus what we saw on Monday, 1 to 2 inches. And then far less rain, even though it rained for most of the day off and on. It was a light rain. So that, again, this light blue is anywhere from just under 1 inch to just over 1 inch of rainfall. Green is actually less than 1 inch of rain. So that's the 24-hour rainfall from Tuesday morning to Wednesday morning. But look, in a nutshell, all of us got rain over the last 2 days. Some of us way too much here. So making some serious progress as far as the drought goes. Okay, what's causing all this? Upper level low. We're looking, this map right here is the upper levels of the atmosphere. So it's not just what happens at the surface. It's not just a cold front that brings rain or high humidity and warm temperatures. We have to look into the upper levels. And when we're active like this in the upper levels, big dip in the jet stream here around this upper low, you tend to see the moisture surge on the east side of these upper lows. And guess where we sit? On the east side. And this is a current look right now of what's going on. So even though we're not seeing a ton of rain so far this morning here across South Florida, as long as that upper low is just west of us, we heat the ground a bit, I do expect things to get active again today. So flood watch has been extended until this evening now, late afternoon, evening. It depends on how you define 5 p.m., but late afternoon, early evening. Hopefully we can put this flood watch to bed. There could still be some thunderstorms around during that time here. I'll show you Future Tracker in a moment. What about your thunderstorm outlook as far as the severity of storms? We're not thinking organized severe thunderstorms are going to be a part of the plan today, although you can always get an isolated strong storm here in South Florida pretty easily. Frequent lightning, heavy rain, those are going to be the big impacts though for us. By the way, we are watching the tropics too, as if our heavy rain event wasn't enough here. 10% chance of development well north of us. Here's Future Tracker, guys. We're tracking one last round this afternoon and then much drier skies late this week.